Hey guys, welcome back. I did talk about Star Wars a little bit yesterday, so I guess that's a good segue into some notes I have about Star Wars. I didn't get to the original trilogy yet, so when I rewatch them, I do it in number order, which I think is the best way to do it. If you're gonna rewatch the prequels, you might as well do it first. But I think if you're watching Star Wars for the first time, you should probably watch the original trilogy first. That would be the best way to do it, I think. Don't go, don't go, don't go, don't go. No. How do you swim fast? I knew this was gonna happen. I had something to say about the original trilogy. Oh, I might have mentioned this before, but I think it's really, well, it's important to me at least how good Empire Strikes Back is. I think about it a lot in relation to, like, I think about Superman, because Superman is a trilogy. So there's Superman 1, 2, and 3, the old movies. Got it, nice, okay. And I think it's kind of analogous. Like, the first movie is really similar to A New Hope, I think. It's like a normal hero's journey. Don't eat me, stop it. And there's nothing super crazy about it. Like, it's just a normal, you have a protagonist, he wants to save the world, and he does, and there's an explosion at the end, and there's a bad guy, and there's a princess that he has to save, and all that stuff. But I don't like Superman 2. Okay, how do I say it? Like, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, and I don't think I would be if Empire Strikes Back would have been as good as Superman 2. And when I say as good, I mean I would like it as much. Like, I like Superman, but I'm not gonna ever rewatch it, or it's not really a big deal for me. Got it. Yes, okay. Because I don't like the other two. And I've never seen the third one, so I've heard it's pretty terrible. But yeah, I like the first Superman. It was fine. And I like the first Star Wars. It's fine. But there's nothing super interesting about Star Wars from, like, someone who's 26 years old and watched it for the first time in like the year 2000 or whatever. And it's not like my parents were big on Star Wars or anything. Where are the last 2 coins? There's one over here, I think. What makes me a big fan of the series is the last 2 movies and how they're kind of different and they build in an interesting way. I guess I didn't want to talk about it too much, but I already kind of mentioned it before, how it ends. Like the big heroic moment of the whole series. I guess, I don't know, for me, I mean, you could say the Death Star blowing up, but it's in the last movie when Luke is like, I forget, how do I forget? I've seen it 1,000 times. The Emperor says, like, you'll join me or whatever, and we'll rule the galaxy, whatever. And Luke throws his lightsaber down and he's like, I'll never join you. That's the heroic moment, is him saying, like, I don't want to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. You're not going to win that way. Where's this last coin? But then I think he mentions his sister, and then he gets really angry and tries to cut his head off. But we don't talk about that. So those are the. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find this coin. Where is it? Is that it? No, it's a fish. Right? Yeah. Where the heck is it? I feel like I've looked through the reef already. It's one of those coins that wanders around. Is it in that school of fishes? Okay, I guess we'll just wander. For the next 10 minutes. So I wanted to talk about the prequels, I guess, because I've... Oh, found it. Nice. I've been watching those. I watched the first 3, so I'll try to think of stuff to talk about. They're not good, but I guess I never really had the expectation of them being like the best thing ever. I mean, how could they follow? Star Wars is like the most popular thing ever, so I don't know, for anybody to expect it to be as popular or as good, I think is unrealistic. They're not terrible. Compared to the originals, I would say they're not good at all, but as popcorn action movies, they're good. There's lightsaber fights, and the effects are really cool, and they don't do anything super crazy, dumb. I don't know. People don't like midichlorians, but you can just kind of ignore that. It's kind of just like a throwaway thing, they say. I really like in the first movie. Okay, so the main problem with the movie, I think, in the trilogy is they don't focus enough on Obi-Wan, because it really feels like, and people have said this before, just like the prequel trilogy should have been Obi-Wan's trilogy and his relationship with Anakin. That would have been the most value, is just like deepening that relationship, so that when Anakin turns, it feels awful because of how close they are and what they've gone through together. But you never really feel that in these movies. I think Ewan McGregor sells it well because he's a good actor, but there's really no reason. They're not really that connected, and they could have done a lot of little stuff throughout the trilogy to connect them more. I guess I do. I mean, not everything has to be so perfect, but it would have been nice for, like, well, the prequel's about Obi-Wan, the original's about Luke and Vader, so the original's about Obi-Wan and Anakin, and then the sequel trilogy is about Rey and Kylo, and then the whole thing is called the Skywalker saga, and Luke's kind of like the connective. Not really. I guess who's the connection? I guess it's Darth Vader. And he's a Skywalker. I like that they mentioned that they're gonna bring back Palpatine in the new movie, but I don't know how they're gonna do it and not be like silly. Probably just a Force ghost. What was I saying? The first movie, it's a really cool idea to just not introduce Anakin until later, which is what they do, but I think they could have done it better. Like, they just kind of stumble onto Tatooine, and he's there, and they're like, yeah, you come with us. And then they realize how, like, this kid is super in tune with the Force for some reason. I guess it would have been interesting to come up with a reason for why he's so in tune with the Force, but I guess it's fine that it's just kind of random. People don't really know the Force. They just kind of they try to understand how to be a part of it, but they don't really know what it is. So that's a cool idea, and I like that they did that. Like, and that's proof that like the original trilogy should be more about Obi-Wan. In the first movie, if there's a protagonist, it would definitely be Obi-Wan. But they don't really do a good job of making him the protagonist. Okay, what do I have to do here? The runaway Ferris wheel? How do I stop it? Don't you have to like go around the back? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Jar Jar. I can't defend Jar Jar. I don't know what they were thinking with Jar Jar. The movie did not need a comic relief character like that. Like someone to step in crap and be like, "Oh, that smells." What is he doing there? It's just, yeah, terrible decision. But I don't think it. Yeah, I guess when I watched the first one, it's like I wish this wasn't here, but I mean, you understand why that character is introduced. It's to introduce like this new race of aliens called the Gungans, and it's like, okay, let's give the Jedi Masters travel to this planet, and this alien planet. So let's give them like an entry into the planet, like someone who's part of the planet who can be like a guide, who gives us kind of empathy into who makes us care about what's happening on this planet. I think it's Naboo. So that's what he was trying to do, but it didn't really work. Nobody likes Jar Jar. How do I get on the other side of this thing? I'm just gonna go over here. Oops. Nope. There are a lot of cool ideas in the prequels, and I think that's maybe why people are frustrated, because it's like, it's so close to being cool, but it's not. I really like that they go into the politics of how the Emperor is like a senator, and how he plays the Jedi against the Senate, and in like the power struggle he becomes the Emperor through like political maneuvering. But the specifics of the political maneuvering is kind of convoluted, and I've seen the movie a bunch, but I just still don't really understand how it works. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but it's hard to believe that the prequels are really that smart. Like I just don't understand it. It's hard to believe that. So I wish it was more, that plot was more fleshed out, I guess. Let's go over here. I think. Maybe. Or am I? Why can't I jump on this? Ah! Yeah, if they would have just done a better job with the political stuff, it would have been a cool idea. For that to be the way that the Emperor comes to power, and it's also a cool idea for like the reason Anakin turns to Darth Vader is because he wants to stop people from dying, and he's seduced by the dark side. But it doesn't really work. Um, and I know people blame George Lucas a lot for this. Um, but yeah, I don't think... why did I do that again? Hayden Christensen was really the best choice to play Darth Vader. He's just too... He's too moody and angsty. And he kind of makes Darth Vader seem like wimpy. And so, in episode 3, when he becomes Darth Vader, you're like, this feels gross. This isn't Darth Vader. It doesn't help that they don't give him any good dialogue, but yeah, people have said that before. Like, maybe George Lucas isn't the best writer. Where am I? This camera is a little bit frustrating. How do I get on the other side? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Okay. I'll figure this out next time. I'm gonna do some more episodes. It's probably a bad idea, but I want to start banking them. I think I might do like 3 more weeks of this before I go on vacation. So if I can build up like 2 or 3 extra episodes every week, I'll have enough. Because it's really important to me to just keep this chain going of like every day uploading. Otherwise I'll stop probably. That's what I say in my head. Anyway, I guess I should say, like, if you are watching, I do appreciate it. Nobody's really watching right now. That's okay, obviously. But yeah, it does help for people to watch and to interact with people. It just helps. Just a good thing. It feels like progress, which is good. So if you want to comment, I know if you're like me, you don't want to comment, which is okay too. But I'll be nice to you. And we could talk about Star Wars together, or whatever you want to talk about. And maybe you could talk about why you don't like Star Wars. That would be interesting. I think everybody likes Star Wars. Anyway, maybe people who have been forced to watch it don't like it, but forced. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.